stand to fight the war you're bound to lose. Never think before you act, that's why you feel alive. Just standing now is best for all. I'll hold your wrist, you hold the night. What you think is safe so far? Like a big gunman. Lost all respect for who you are. Little bit I may have left. All the scab that hides the scar. The gruesome aftermath. The blame lies with you. Your rise, your fall. It cannot be all and all. Time can't erase what you have done. Just force yourself for what's to come. Can't justify the things you've done. Unjustify acts. They point and stare without a care. They pay to watch you win. You make a plea, you pray to God, who says you've got no soul to keep. 'Cause you lied, you've been denied any liberation. Condemned to live, condemned to hell, condemned to damnation. What you think this makes so far? Like a big gunman. Lost all respect for who you are. Little bit I may have had. You're the scab that hides the scar. Gruesome aftermath. Time to run, no time to walk. You are the one that's I forgot. I can't erase what you have done. Just force yourself for what's to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Tarnation TV live streaming on YouTube here at ASR All-Star Racing, a league known for all-star racing. Anyway, this is the Superspeedway series, takes place on Sunday nights, and it's operated by Bryant Wolf and his team of administrators. We've been going through some fantastic racing here. It's an 8-race season, and we're at race number 4 tonight, so this marks the halfway point. They just collect points. Whoever has the most points at the end of race number 8 wins the championship. No fancy playoffs, none of that stuff. A little bit of different point structure, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Sir Rod Weston, how are you doing this evening? I'm Blaine Donlan, by the way, joined by Rod Weston.
I am back. Unfortunately, my real life racing gets in the way of this broadcasting on some Sundays, but we're back at it again. Superspeedways, I'm glad to be up in the booth. As y'all know, I don't like Superspeedway racing. We're part of trying to be the guy out there doing the racing, but I like watching these guys. It's a good group. They run really good races. And like you said, it's the old school style, old school points things. It's a good series to watch.
Yeah, man. We've had some phenomenal racing. In the first 3 weeks, it's been phenomenal. 3 different winners. It's been race number 1, Mark Paglia won that one. Race number 2, Alex Moe won that one. And race number 3, you'll speak of the devil, sitting right next to us, Brian Wolf won race number 3 last week, man. So, yeah, Brian, take it away.
I'll have to agree, man. Last week was fun.
It was.
No, coming off that win, though, man, it's actually kind of frightening on one hand, because I know that can change. You know what I mean? I've had my good luck the first 3 races, and now it's, just wait for the other shoe to drop. But I'm going to try to keep it there. But yeah, tonight's going to be fun. Rod, man, I'm so glad you're back, man. Blaine did a great job by himself last week, but he was complaining he didn't have anybody to talk to. So we're glad you're back, and I think you're gonna really witness some fun, exciting racing here, because we've got the bugs that we had before are worked out, and we may have a little bit of a short field tonight, but they're starting to pile in now. I know Seth Cole's running some event tonight that we weren't aware of, but. So we might have a short field tonight, but looks like we have our regulars, man. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, some of the greatest super speedway racers out here too. So that's fun to watch.
Oh yeah. These guys are, Ken and I kind of behind the scenes call them all Dega heads, because they race at Dega, 2-3 times a week. Some of these guys, myself included, So they're all experienced, but it's, if I had to balance the fun aspect and the competition, it's hard to keep a fine balance between those two, because one can spill into the other. But so far it's been a lot of fun, man. It's just getting better. Thank all you guys for doing this broadcasting for us. And I know you were talking about the points. It is a very simple points format. It's most points collected at the end of the 8 races is the champion. There's no playoffs. There's no, winning you're in business. It's just strictly, first place is 40 points, second place 39, third place 38, and on down to 10 is the least amount you can score for a provisional. But yeah, the points are close. It's getting good already. Here we are halfway already.
So there's a 1 point separating every position, and then you get a bonus point for leading a lap, bonus point for leading the most laps. So there's a couple extra points available, but it doesn't really skew it as much as it would on the regular point scale, because that scale works on like 5-point gaps, I think, for the first 20 positions or so.
Right. So, yeah, I made a post earlier this week that, only 37 points separate first from 10th. So the point, it's all about scoring the most points you can, consistency. And you're right. 1 point for leading a lap and 1 point for leading the most. So if you would win, 42 points is the most points you could score each week.
Right. Yeah, man. And with all the people that are here too, that's tough, to get in there and be able to pull that off. You got to be consistent every week, and you got to show up. So, you guys are going to take advantage of that tonight, because there's maybe, like you said, you might be a little bit short on drivers, but that's their loss. They need those precious points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And there is one provisional per driver per 8 races. So a couple of these guys you'll see tonight have already used them. Some that aren't here tonight will have them added this week, and the points are. But we got all that stuff worked out, man. All those bugs are worked out of this. As far as the scoring and the, the connection issues we were having is all gone now. So this is just going to be fun. That's all it's going to be. Fun.
So we're at the halfway point now. So, and then you only got 4 races more after this, and then you crown a champion. What's your thought about continuing this and continuing going on with this Super Speedway series?
Well, I think we've gotten past a lot of our growing pains. Like I said, if we can average 20 to 25, guys that are of this caliber racing each week for a championship, and there's been hints of a trophy and that we can announce that stuff later, but it makes it exciting to watch. We're trying to make this as exciting for the viewers as we are the drivers, and getting the right setup with the right track and the right experience with these guys is all coming together with this mod and this version of the track. It's just, so far it's been a gem. You know what I mean? It's really been good racing. Last 3 weeks have been really fun.
He dodged the question. I was wondering if you're thinking about starting up a weekly series like this, or are you going to do just maybe a 8 series here, 8 series here, race here series kind of thing?
There's been talk kind of between me and some of the other admin about maybe turning this into a 10-week series.
Yep.
For season 2. But there is definitely going to be a season 2, definitely.
Oh, cool. That's kind of what I was getting at, just to see if you were going to continue it on at all. I mean, like I said, I love sitting up here broadcasting these super speedways. I'm not a big super speedway racer. I can't hold my breath that long.
Well, this is my first time kind of being lead admin for a series and kind of running the thing. So now, I keep going back to this, but now that those bugs are worked out, I can start having some fun with this as far as Fluid Studios is concerned and involved, and, working with Blaine and you guys and really putting on a good show for these viewers.
Well, what's the thing? Is there going to be any major changes? Like, you're going to change mod, you're going to change the version of the track, or are you just bumping it up to maybe 10-week season? That
stuff is all kind of up in the air right now. We just want to see, as long as we don't lose, that much of a turnout. Like I said, we want to give it, the rest of these 4 weeks or whatever, and see kind of where we land. You know what I mean? We're definitely going to continue with something for Sunday nights. We just need to kind of take a meeting, as it were, and kind of see how this plays out first.
Right. Yeah, man. Well, it's been super successful in the first 3 races. So, we just were rolling the points up in there. I think there's been about 35 different drivers running this series in the first 3 races. So it's definitely taken off, man. So congratulations. It's not easy to do this stuff.
Yeah, you're telling me it's not. I can, like I said, I can finally take a breath and actually race and have some fun with this. And coming off that win last week, man, I'm just like a sitting duck. I mean, these guys are not going to let that happen again. I guarantee it.
Yeah, they see that.
It's a racing style that requires you to have friends, and
you
lose all your friends out there. You're not going to win if they don't want you to, because they will not go with you. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and I think the excitement of this is going to ramp up as we go along too, because like I was saying last week, we start getting into week 5, 6, and 7. A lot of these guys, even though they won't admit it, are going to be doing math in their head every lap around. You know what I mean? Because the points are going to be close. So you could lose a championship in one race, or you could win one in one race, and it's going to be that close, I think.
They need to adopt the philosophy that I always had when racing. You just go out, you do the best that you can, and then the points will fall wherever they fall. And that's how I've always raced. Instead of worrying about, I've got to beat this guy, or I'm right where I'm supposed to be, so I should stay here and not worry about it. Nah, I just go flat out, try to do the best I can. If I win it, I win it. If I don't, I had fun.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the neat things about this too. I mean, you can win a championship here and never win a race.
Yep.
The way the points work out. So yeah.
That's the thing, man. The track sometimes just takes care of you. You just get out there and race your race, and, you know, you have to pit early, you pit early. And who knows? Like, look what happened last week with Brian. I mean, it was down to the wire on fuel, and then it just, you know, an explosion happened, and, you know, stuff just fell into place at the last second.
He went a fuel mileage race?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always turning out to be one.
They didn't find
it came down to that last week, but there was a caution right at the end as we were going to the stripe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was me and the 3 others behind me, and I thought there's no way. But I was, you know, knowing the point system, I know I was content to finish top 5, but I ended up they ended up pushing me across the stripe, so it worked out well for me for points that night. But
very good.
That's it, man. Right place at the right time. Well, it looks like we're getting down to qualifying, so I guess we better let you go and do your thing.
Yeah, we are. I got to jump up here and just talk with these guys and welcome everybody, and appreciate you tuning in and watching us. Blaine, Rod, thanks for being here again. You guys are going to have a good show tonight, I think.
Awesome. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. Brian Wolf, lead administrator here at the ASR Superspeedway Series on Sunday nights. The ASR SSSSN.
Yeah. But now they want more drivers. So anybody out there that's thinks they're a pretty decent super speedway driver, they should start looking into it. Come in and join the series. It's just the super speedway, Talladega. I think myself, they should try to get a hold of whoever kind of has the rights, I guess, to the Talladega super speedway, the Talladega Nights one. Where there's 3 grooves, that would make for some better racing and better TV, I think. But hey, this TR version is really good too.
That's the thing. Yeah, each version is very different, very unique, and leads to different styles of racing. And it's crazy how different they can be. It's not just a track that's where the walls have been, the color of the wall is different, and maybe there's a dark sky instead of a day sky. There's configuration files behind the track surface too, and everybody tweaks them a little bit different. And if you can get that perfect storm of track setup with car setup, and if you're running Cup, it depends what physics you're running. You don't see too many GNS races out here, but
okay, buddy, fired up. But you the time.
No, you don't. That's true.
Yeah, it's usually CTS.
The other thing too, though, is the people that have never played this game. One of the easiest the versions is the super speedways to learn. Okay, meaning why I say that is you're not doing a lot of braking, you're not doing a lot of putting effort into it. It's more of an easy thing to learn. But to master racing at super speedways is a totally different thing. I mean, you try to go out there and qualify. All you got to do is put your foot down and leave it flat on the floor, and you'll get the pole. Nope, these guys have got so many, they're so good at it. They can pick up 4 or 5 tenths where you can't, and I'd never understood how they do it. I've had people help me do it, and then it's just it's a mind game racing these races, because you're always trying to think, all right, where's this guy going to go? How's this going to go? Do this and you go that, and you're just, by the time you get done with one of these races, you're mentally exhausted from playing chess with 20 people at over 200 miles an hour.
Right, and every race is like that. But here, it's like, because of the style of track and because it's such a high caliber drafting track, losing that draft is a huge kick. But the right yellow comes out, lucky dog, get your lap back, and get your rate. But we've seen it happen. People have been a couple laps down. Like, oh man, they lost the draft. They're a couple laps down, but they're still out there running. A couple of quick yellows, put them back on the lead lap, and then they're up there going for the finish. And you're thinking, like, this guy, 40 laps ago was nowhere, like he was 2 laps down, so never give up, I guess is what we're saying. Because sometimes it's crazy. Like, just, why is that guy still out there running? He's damaged. He's got nothing there, but you get the right person pushing you, and who knows?
Well, if you're in a points race, you've got to keep continuing running. You cannot stop. But like Brian said, one of the things about this style of racing, he went out and won. He goes, now, I know they're going to be gunning for me this week. And, you think about it, you race at Martinsville or, a flat track or some of those small tracks out there, you're in control of your own destiny. Out here, you got to have friends. And you just think about it, Brian goes for the lead. He's out there. He's got it going, and everybody behind him goes, no.
Telephone. Yeah. That's that's the thing. Like, it's everything's happened so quickly out here, but then you're never out of it.
And the thing of it is all of a sudden everybody could just leave Brian, and before you know it, he's back to 13th, 14th spot because nobody went with him. And that's the hard part about the super speedway racing is you've got to be able to team up with people and run with people.
Yeah, and looking at the screen here now, we've got last week, you could see the top 3 last week. Brian Wolf won the race, Kelly Causey right behind him, and then Rodney Sullins. And then under that, the fastest pole so far this season, as of three races have been run. Nate Balser set that one on the 6th of July in race number 2 with a 182.637, which is 52.432 seconds. And I'm looking at the qualifying right now that was not beat tonight. Looks like Rodney Sullins is on the pole with the 52.471. Crazy fast lap by Nate Balser, man, like a couple weeks ago. Nuts.
And the thing about that I like about this series, they're running the Aero 88s. So the Aero 88s basically are what the cars were in 1988-ish. Now people have made a few changes. So, they've got the Monte Carlo SS in there, but they also got the Chevy Lumina and, different cars and different looks like that. But what's kind of cool is if you wait till you see some of these guys, some of them are a little bit more modern paint schemes, but I love the old school paint schemes. Rodney Sullins' car, the guy that took the pole tonight, it is an old Chevy Nova, like a 76 Chevy Nova. It just looks really cool.
We'll latch onto him right there. You talking about Ken Roberts?
I was talking about Rodney Sullins.
Rodney Sullins. There's see if Sullins is out. He's not out there yet. Let me see.
I had to. Well, during Brian was talking and everything, I look over at the broadcast, and Blaine's having fun with the drone.
Oh yeah, we were going for a track. We were doing a track tour there with the helicopter.
We were dodging down back from pit road,
going through the partitions on the signs. Like, there's a gap I can fit through there.
Oh, that was good though.
Yeah, there's a look at Postal's car.
I couldn't. To say something, but I couldn't because Brian was talking at the time.
Yeah. There's John Godfrey, the 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Couple of drivers on track right now.
As you can see, like John Broadfree's out there in a Monte Carlo. Well, they never ran the Monte Carlo and the Chevy Lumina at the same time. So when I say they're 88-ish cars, they're basically the old Chevy Monte Carlo SS. There's, the Pontiacs at that time were just running the Le Mans, the Oldsmobile was a Cutlass. They were all the same basic scheme. Then the Fords obviously had the Thunderbird. I think Dodge was out of it by that time. So some of the guys, when they made this mod, they put the Lumina in it, they put the Pontiac Grand Prix in it, they put the Buick Regal, the Oldsmobile Cutlass, which were the shorter cars. But they kind of gone a little bit crazy. These painters have had a lot of fun with it. Rodney Sullins is just leaving pit road right now, and they have created different styles and different, looks and stuff like that. Kind of made them look like different cars that, weren't ever out there. Well, Rodney Sullins running a Nova. Dale Earnhardt Sr. used to run a Nova in what back then was the Busch Series.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's the thing with the templates, right? Like, because there's 4 different car makes for every series available, and they're always a little bit different. And then then it depends on the templates the guys draw for them. So that's endless. You could literally come up with anything.
You look at Rodney Sullins, if you look at it, and you kind of wonder, well, what template is that? Well, that's the Buick Regal. Buick Regal, as you can see in the front of it, gives you that flatter look on the nose of the car. So if you look at it from the front view a little bit further away, it looks like an old Chevy Nova.
Yeah, super cool looking.
Some of these guys, you might see if you let Rodney Sullins go crazy and just say, go exotic, go nuts. He built a template. I mean, you might have a Chevy on a Ford, but it would be that would look, more like what he was trying to make. That body or that template would fit it better.
Now, what was the Grand National mod? I think it's the 74, 75 one where they actually had that Plymouth with the weird wing on the back. Like those car models in that mod were drastically different between all four. Like all four of these models still look like sort of the same deal. A little bit different front end, might be a little wider on the back, or whatever. But like that, I think it was the GNS 74. I can't remember the mod. You know what I'm talking about, though.
Oh yeah, the Super B, when they did the Plymouth Super B and the Dodge Daytona.
Super
they basically
cool mod.
had
Such a different.
Yeah, they had the wing on the top. So to do Dodge something back then to compete with the Fords, because they made the Ford Talladega or I think it was a Daytona. And they had really shaped the body in such a way that it was really great through the air, great handling car. And so they basically took the Challenger, put a kind of a pointy nose on it and a big old wing on the back of it, and that thing flew. Of course, back then too, they were running big Hemi motors,
right,
over 500 cubic inch Hemis and stuff like that. It's crazy.
The horsepower they're pulling out, and then of course on bigger tracks, there's no restrictions back then either. So it's just these guys are going for it.
NASCAR finally had to step in and do something. I'm not exactly what year it was, but Davey Allison had come out of, it was at Talladega. He came out of turn 3, going down the front stretch, going by the fans, and his right rear tire blew up.
Oh,
Doing well over 220 miles an hour, and the tire just couldn't handle the speed. Blew up, sent him into the fence. Luckily the car never went through the fence, but a few people were injured, and NASCAR had to do something, because if you leave these guys alone and just let them go to their own devices, they will just go crazy. Before you know it, they'd be doing 250 miles an hour. I think the better story was, I've got to think of his name, driver. But anyways, they got the car going so fast, he went out and he qualified the fastest lap had ever been turned. And the next lap, he was sliding down the backstretch on his roof.
Wow!
Because the air just got underneath it and took it away. And they were going faster than the cars were able to handle.
Right, so the motor can do it, but that's it.
Yeah.
The car, the chassis can't handle it, the tires can't handle it, the brakes wouldn't be able to handle it.
It's more of an aerodynamic thing. That's why you saw, some changes from the cars. They went to the smaller Luminas and stuff like that. But, now you see NASCAR nowadays, they're basically bought chassis. They can't make their own stuff anymore. That I don't care for. I liked it back when you could be a little innovative. That's why I kind of like following Formula One, because it's the guys that come up with the things that somebody else has ever thought of, and it works. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's here's the thing. I don't know why this just entered my mind. Here is the thing like that they changed recently with the new generation, with that single bolt wheel, one lug nut. I thought that was kind of weird.
Yep, I do too.
Yeah.
Their whole reasoning behind what they do is, so back in the day, it was race on Sunday, buy on Monday. What does that mean? Well, your manufacturer would go out there. You'd be out there running a Buick Regal. If you won that Buick Regal, somebody might go out there Monday and buy a Buick Regal because their favorite driver drives a Buick Regal. That's what it used to be. And it kind of got away from that when they started getting into the car tomorrow. It was more about safety, which applaud NASCAR for making them safe. They really did a great job. But unfortunately, the first thought that they had was to put a wing on the back of it. Well, the worst thing that wing did is a great downforce. It did kind of sort of what they wanted to do until the car got backwards. Now that wing became a wing, but in reverse, so it actually lifted the cars. And so that's why they went back to spoilers. And then now they went to that single lug nut, because all cars that you buy nowadays are on, probably anywhere from a 16 to a 24-inch wheel. And they were still running 15-inch wheels, steel wheels. They wanted to go to the aluminum. They wanted to make it a little more modern. Unfortunately, in my opinion, they went to basically a road course car. It's an independent suspension car. It's basically IMSA. If you watch the IMSA series, like a GT3, I think they call them, which are basically just a road car, that they run around the road course. And, it's a safety thing, and it's but I don't watch it anymore just because, it's a bought and chassis. You just go out there and, I don't think it's right.
Yeah, they change, and some changes are good, some changes are just strange, but as the sport evolves, try to get some viewers back, and then they end up going backwards sometimes too.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad to see Pat McCarskey's out there tonight. We've been kind of talking about NASCAR. We got to start talking about these guys out here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be out there racing there, and they're at happy hour right now. We could probably go down through the qualifying.
Sure.
Rodney Sellen's on the pole. Outside pole is going to be Mike Mangialardi. That Napa car is pretty cool. Randy Waugh, great super speedway racer. Then Graham McDonald. Pat McCarskey out there starting 5th tonight. That's pretty cool. Dennis McCarthy, I raced with him over Rolling Thunder. 80 of Ed Finley. He has got a beautiful looking Trans Am out there. Like, it's one of those ones that, just looks kind of neat. You got Chuck T out there. I know he's out there in that Miller highlight paint scheme. Like I said, an old school one. 10th is going to be CCR. Adam, is it?
It's Adam Simonic, yeah.
Simonic, yeah. I knew the last name. I couldn't remember the first one. And 10th is going to be Brad Otto. And I'll let you go through the rest of the list.
Excellent. I will do that right about now. So we got in 8th position, C. Jax. I guess we can show people this. We'll show them the menu here. So we go Waugh, Pegler, Roberts, and then I'm at the 8th place is Jax. In 9th place, we got Graham McDonald. In 10th place, driving the number 38, Rodney Sullins. Brian Wolf in the 29 and 11th. Mike Mangialardi in the 029.
You are in happy hour.
I am in happy hour. Qualifying.
New guys, I tell you.
Let's try that. I know. Let's try that again. So you left off where? Simonic?
Yeah, Jax. You got Jax.
Yeah, so Brad Otto, Jax. Yeah, that's hilarious. Practice, qualifying, happy hour. ASR Postal. Dale Shalinsky is out here again this week. I believe it's Dale.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Brian Wolf in the 29 and 14th. Mark Paglia in the 28 car in 15th. The 16th position, the 55 of Ken Roberts. David Chin in the 88 in the 17th spot. And we've got Brian Rawson in 18th and 19th position, Denny Carroll. And John Godfrey there in the 7-11. Pay no attention to Ron Weston and Blaine Donlan because
every week.
Yeah, we forgot to bring our cars this evening. Wonder what it would be like if we broadcasted. First of all, if we broadcasted properly and actually read the right menu. Or actually broadcasted from the car as well, racing. And that would be the worst broadcast of all time.
We'd have to probably do that on Turbo.
Yes. It would be.
Could get a little bit excited.
It would definitely be Tarnation TV Turbo, the alternate channel that we barely use, but that's why it's there.
Okay,
experimentation.
Buddy, here.
All right, I just retired my car as they grid up, and the game crashed. It seems to do that every single time. Yeah.
Not a good thing.
It tells me that OBS has also crashed, but I'm not going to click yes. Because if I click yes, it's going to crash OBS. The funny thing about OBS is the broadcasting software. So the reason that you're seeing what you're seeing right now on YouTube is because I feed all the stuff through OBS and it sends it to YouTube to turn it into a video. A little pop-up will come up and say OBS has crashed.
I'm sorry, Blaine. Do you need a restart?
Nope, we're good to go, buddy. I'm just logging back in.
10-4.
Brian Wolf talking to me there on the private whisper. But yeah, it's funny. It'll say OBS is crashed. Do you wish to continue? Yes or no? I just don't click anything.
Fired up here. Remember, one switch
and it stays running,
turning your stuff on.
which is weird. I'm like,
There
so
you
it's
go.
crashed, but it's working until I accept the pop-up. Once I click on the pop-up, it'll crash it. And we're live, so I'm not going to do it.
But we're getting ready to take the green, so we'll give you a little play-by-play while he gets himself back up in here. Green flag is out. Rodney Stellan's on the bottom, gets a great launch off there. Mike Mangialardi a little slow. Randy Waugh right behind him. Just got a great shot from Pat McCarskey. He's going to make an attempt to try to get back up there. Outside group just not running like it should. They're starting to build up speed. Now, mind you, that it takes them guys about almost a full lap to get right up to full speed. So give them a minute and they'll be cranking it right along. As I say that, the outside group is kind of starting to getting a little bit of an advantage. Graham McDonald's putting right in the back. We're 3 wide. Pat McCarskey goes to the bottom.
Already.
Ed Finley. They made it through there fine. Just don't know if, I think Mangialardi is in the wrong spot here. The high groove at this track is not quite as good as some of the other ones. And they don't have anybody else behind them helping them. Currently right now, Rodney Sullins, Randy Waugh, Dennis McCarthy, and Chuck T are kind of nose to tail in the middle. I think you're going to see them guys get a little bit more of a run down the backstretch. Oh, no. Got an impact.
All right, they held on to that. Holy moly.
Wow. That
all
was
of them
crazy.
did. Even David Chin, he was driving through the grass, and he was able to hold on to that.
That was crazy. Just caught the end of it, and like it looked like everybody kind of, except for the one car that went down in the grass a bit.
But even then, nobody... And they're actually... I'm looking at the gaps between these guys. If they kind of check up a little bit, they could help each other get back into this.
Yeah, the only one that's kind of a bit away, we'll find out here when he gets to the line, John Godfrey. I think he just got slowed down because of it. He's got Brian Rosson in front of him. If they can catch up to him, and then they can work together, catch up to the 88 and the 41 of Denny Carroll.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, David Chen is the 88. That's the one I didn't know.
Chin, yeah. He's the guy who owns ASR. He's one of the top guys at ASR.
Yeah.
Sponsors the broadcast, actually. Bryant Motorsports is the sponsor for this whole season. So thank you, Mr. Chin and the ASR crew for gathering up the money to pay us to do this. This is kind of neat that we can make a couple bucks doing this. I do charge $500 a race.
Yeah.
So Rod and I both needed, new pickup trucks. Yeah, and I need a new pickup truck, and you need go-kart parts.
While we were kind of focusing on to see just how where everybody was back there, unfortunately, I'm going to think some of them are going to probably lose the draft.
Yeah, it looks like
things have kind of quieted down up front here.
Yeah, we're not 4 wide anymore.
Rodney Sullins, like I said, that inside line of that had 4 cars together, managed to get themselves back out in front. Mangialardi kind of snuck down into the 4th spot. Graham McDonald's right behind him. Pat McCarskey. Love to see Pat win over these things. That would be awesome.
He's always there too. Like he's out every night racing somewhere. And
Great Superspeedway racing.
Yeah, he's always at these Superspeedway races. It's always good to see. I mean, everybody on track tonight, like we were talking about it before, are the who's who of, especially at Talladega. No matter what version we throw at these guys, they always put on a great show.
Ed Finley's back there in the 7th position. They're kind of just nose and tails right now. And you kind of, this style of racing, if you're smart, that's what you do. You kind of go early on a restart. Can't make it, get in line, run some laps, try to do some strategy that might get you out front, at the right time, just how it goes. Rodney Sullins out there leading. He's going to be the guy with the worst fuel mileage out of the bunch.
Yep. Yeah, we're just looking at the back of the pack there. You got Brian Rosson and John Godfrey in a group by themselves. And then about 5 or so seconds in front of them, you've got David Chin and Denny Carroll. And then 16th place and up are all still in that main package, which what we're looking at now. Currently focused on Ed Finley in the 80 on that high line.
And you're almost, I think you're correct that, probably Denny Carroll and is it Denny Chin? David Chin. Okay, yep. Sorry about that, David. If they were slow down and catch up, let them other guys catch up. 4 cars are going to go a lot faster than 2.
Yeah,
might save them a little bit, in the long run.
Yeah, right now they're about 5 seconds. Those 2 little packs there, the 2 and the 2, they're about 5 seconds away from each other. If Carroll and Chin, like you said, if they woed up just a little bit, and you get those 4. Okay, so let's see. What are they actually pulling here? Okay, so hooked together, 2 cars are doing 190 miles an hour. Where 4 would probably do closer to 200.
They're pulling right now. The front pack, they're doing about 199 miles an hour down the backstretch.
Right, so if they slowed up a bit and let these guys catch them and create a little 4-car train, they could gain 10 mile an hour.
Easily.
Yeah.
And Brad Otto's trying to see about, working up to a high line going.
See, right here through Trioval, they're almost at 200. They're like 199, yeah.
Just checked them on the backstretch. At the end of the backstretch, they were 199.
Yeah. Fast.
Oh,
Who
bad.
is that?
Bad Otto just got a bad push from Ed Finley in the middle of the corner there. He was able to save it. Unfortunately, he did hit the wall. I believe we're on moderate damage. He may have, I think he's going to probably have lost the draft.
Oh, yeah, it didn't look like much contact at all. It's just a little bit of a bobble, and it might have been a little bit of internet help there, too.
Yep. I'm pretty sure it was, because he was just trying to get behind him. That's the thing that really kind of makes it hard with this, is that, you have a little bit of internet latency that can cause issues as well. And then, you can't sometimes, depending on where you sit in the car, there's different views that these guys can be driving from. And, sometimes you don't mean to push them, you try to push them down the straightaways, just, unfortunately get in the back of them, and that's what happens.
Currently looking at Chuck T. 3rd overall, 95 points after 3 races. Currently in 3rd overall standings after 1 top 5 finish with an average finish of 6th. So he's right in there in the middle of this pack, and we've been averaging about 20 to 25 people starting these races. So an average finish position of 6th is good, man, which is obviously why he's in 3rd overall.
Kind of just look back to see what Brian Rossum and John Godfrey were doing, and they're not really close to each other. They're just starting to get back to where they're getting close. That's hurting them kind of a bit. Mm-hmm. I think Brad Otto probably in about, I'm going to guess, maybe about 4 laps, he'll have Denny Carroll and David Chan right on his backside. So they'll probably roll by him, but he'll be able to tuck in, and that'll help them guys out. John Godfrey just got to the back of Brian Rosson, and so they're just kind of picking up some speed, but they've already lost almost 32 seconds on the field.
Yeah, once this main pack catches them, the thing is too, the issues that they had, there was no damage involved. So they'll be right back up to speed with the main pack because we're all running a fixed setup here. So problem is they're by themselves. They're about 10 mile an hour slower. So they will be able to blend back into the group here. It's just that they, depending on the 3-wide situation of the main pack, it could get kind of interesting. We're just watching Finley and Roberts are just trucking on this high side here.
I was just getting ready to say something. Back there in about the 4th position, and I want to stress about the 4th position. You got Mike Mangialardi and Graham McDonald working the bottom. Ed Finley and Ken Roberts trying to work the top side with a little bit of help from people behind them. Matt Papakarski back there, Simonic, they're trying to figure out a way to get by these 3 cars that are just running in the middle of the groove. That middle groove is the preferred groove in a TR track.
Yeah, but there's only 3 of them, and they're getting flanked by about 6 cars on each side.
As we talked about before, Brian knew that they weren't going to go with him, so nobody's going with them. They're trying to figure out. They're all lining up, trying to get more cars in their line to try to make it past. Mangialardi's starting to make a little bit of a move on the bottom, and now at the same time, Ed Finley's making a move in the top. So now what that does, it kind of puts the middle groove in what they call the soccer hole. Now why it does that is because now they don't have the room to move, even though they're running just that middle groove, but they still need that room to move. You start putting cars on the inside and the outside, it makes it so that they kind of don't have that ability to kind of go up and off the corner a little bit. But fortunately for them, Mangialardi is really making it happen down at the bottom with all the cars that he's got behind him. And Ed Finley just, as we talked before, this is not really a 3rd groove racetrack. That's why I feel they should get the third grid racetrack that's out there. We would see this lap after lap after lap, but the outside groove would be more prominent.
Yeah, I agree. And they do exist because we've run it before.
Yeah, we when I first got
You don't
started
even
doing
need.
this,
Oh, sorry.
I know, but I'm just saying when I first got doing this with you, we were doing it at Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
And they had that track, and they would just, it was crazy how they would run 3x3x3. But I'm gonna tell you, give Ed Finley big credit because he's out there really, really trying. He's making it work. He had a little help from the lap car. They just lapped down John Godfrey. He had a little bit of aero help from him, which kind of caught him to get up there. But then when they got to the corner, unfortunately, he had nowhere to go. Now they got Brian Ralston out there, and they might, maybe use him for a little bit. But once they get to him, they're going so much faster than he is. They just got to roll by him.
They're about 20 mile an hour faster. They're coming up on him in a good
Four
spot,
wide.
too. It's a little bit wide. Yeah. It's a wide area right here, so they'll be all right.
Oh, no.
Or not.
Somebody didn't see Simonic in the air. We're going to have our first caution.
End over end.
Now, let's see. And while we were kind of watching that stuff going on back there, I think Mangialardi is going to end up with the lead.
Checking out the replay here. Brian Rawson in the 6, holding that high line, but yeah. Oh, you know what? It had nothing to do with him.
No, it didn't. I'm not going to say it wasn't his fault. It was more of a fact that he was just there.
It might have just everybody was focused on him and make those little minor mistakes.
I think you'd probably see that you'll have somebody was behind. I'm not sure who got hit first.
From the camera angle that I was on when it happened, it looked way different. So I'm focused on Simonic right now. And he had to check up a lot to stay out of McCarthy. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And then he got rear-ended by Jax.
It's just more of a situation where it was a reaction from Simonic to just, trying to make sure that he didn't hit McCarthy in the wrong spot. He also had a car on the outside of him, so he had no room to go out there. And it's a chain reaction. So it happens so quick that there's not a lot people can do about it. But
and
they'll fix it.
Such a strange rollover for Paglia. No real damage on the car. And as it comes to a stop, it just hooks and flips. Yeah. So he didn't have any damage, but now he might have a little bit of roof damage. Anyway, everybody's coming down pit road now.
I forget. We did probably have that information because you were running with them last week. Are they running on 2X?
Yes.
It says 30 laps. I don't think they can do 30 laps.
No, I thought 2X is usually about a
20 to 20. Yeah.
Race off pit road there. It'll be Sullins, Mangialardi, and McDonald.
Mangialardi was able to take the lead, but lost it on pit road. Now the question is, I didn't go through and check, but you might get some people take 2 tires and just fuel. It really depends on how much fuel they need. We're on lap 16, so they were down to the point where they're going to be stopping in about 5 laps. So they probably needed about a can and a half, maybe 2 cans. You're going to take 2 cans. You can go in, take 2 cans and four tires and still not lose much time. When you get down to a can and a half is where you start getting rid of one set of the tires because it can slow the pit stop down.
Depends on the condition, the flag condition as well, if we're under yellow or green too.
Looking at the lineup, Brian Rosson is probably going to be our lucky dog. They do 1 or 2 lucky dogs. So many different leagues do different ways. So.
I can check with Brian. Give me 1 sec. Blaine to Brian. Brian, are you there, bud?
I am. We're trying to get this sorted out. Yeah.
Lucky dogs, 1 or 2?
There are 2 tonight.
Roger that. Thank you. 2 lucky dogs.
Oh, good. Okay, that's perfect. So that'll get Brian Rosson and John Godfrey in there. Brad Otto is currently out in front of the leaders, and I just wanted to see if he was going to pit. He is not. So we're going to have also probably have a wave round.
Yeah, so the 47 will be the wave round. Sullins won the race off pit road a lap ago. Those other cars went around. They get an extra lap.
Brad Otto just kind of got in a bad situation, a bump gone wrong. I guarantee the car that was right behind him did not mean to do that. So now his thought process is he's not going to be a lucky dog. So he's going to stay out. He's going to get to go past the pace car, get his lap back, and then hope that we get a kind of a quickie yellow so that he will be able to go in, put 4 tires and fuel on it, and be right back in it.
It's not a wave round. It's billing Otto as first place.
Oh, that's... Oh.
I thought that was strange, yeah. Because he...
So he never did go.
No.
Okay. That's right, because the ones that were a lap down were Rasson, Godfrey, and I think Paglia is a couple of laps down, only due to the fact that he was involved in that latest caution and probably getting damage repaired.
And Otto was involved in the wreck, but not damaged. Really, most of those cars just sort of went for a spinorama, opting to stay out and lead that lap. The lights are still on the pace car, so he might duck into the pits this time around, maybe get new tires.
Remember, as we talked before, it's old school. Mm-hmm. So you get 5 points for leading a lap. You get 5 points for leading the most laps. So you got to...
But they doing 5 or they doing 1? Because they did adjust. It might only be 1.
I don't know. The old school was 5.
Yeah, I just know that here it might only be 1, but it doesn't matter. It's still bonus points. You still want to do it.
Yep. Don LeBlanc says, "Can't hear you. Cars are too loud."
Oh, really? Oh, maybe I've got... Let me check something. Thanks for the heads up, Don. Maybe... Oh, maybe I've got a glitch with...
Brad Otto is, like we thought we probably were going to do, elected to go down pit road. Denny Carroll and David Chin are also going down. No, David stayed out. Saw Denny Carroll go down pit road. That's more of a strategy. So we've got the lights off on the pace car. So Ronaldson and John Godfrey are now headed out to go get their lap back.
I knocked the volume down on the cars about 2 dB. So just keep us posted how that sounds. Like it might have been a glitch with my crank it up switch. Sometimes it gets inverted where it doesn't say it's on, but it actually is.
The case where Denny Carroll pitted, he's probably just trying to play a little bit of a different strategy. Mm-hmm. He was lost the draft there in that earlier episode, so I think he's probably just going down, going to take 4 tires, fuel, come out. He'll be in the back of the pack, but he can, in theory, go 1 lap or further than everybody else. So
nice little pad to have. You can more options doing that, and it's a long race, right? 66 lap race. We're only currently on halfway around lap 18. So if you're going to start doing little things like that now, they add up in the end.
You think about it, as we talked to Brian Wolf, it ended up becoming a fuel mileage race. Now, granted, maybe this is too early to say, but let's just say hypothetically, the math comes out to where he ends up, we go green all the way, he can do 1 or maybe 2 extra laps and not have to stop 1 time, as long as he can stay with it in the lead draft. Rodney Sullins, interesting, took the outside.
Yeah, I just saw that. He wants that middle line.
Yep. So basically what happened there was that the first car, lead car, has lane choice. Only the first 2. Doesn't change anything behind. So where Rodney Sullins took the high side, gave Mike Mangialardi the low side. So they still have, sometimes you'll do that just depending on who you have behind you too. The guy behind you is a great pusher, and the 2 guys right behind either one of them are great pushers. So
that's the thing. It wasn't, with McDonald and Waugh.
Yeah,
those are good guys to have pushing. So it's just the lane choice, right? That's the thing. It could be that he might like being in front of Juan.
A little bit of accordion effect at the bottom. That got Brian Wolf. Brought the bottom groove. They had kind of a accordion effect, bump draft kind of thing going. Somebody didn't go, and it just kind of accordion back down all the way back. And unfortunately for Brian Wolf, he was tangled up in that.
Yeah.
It's just a situation where it accordion's right back, and then you get back to where Brian is. There's nothing anybody can do.
Yeah, it happened right in front of Brian. It looked like, yeah, that's exactly what it was. They were almost touching each other. And that just amplifies. It just amplifies, like the more cars you have, the more
goes back and back, and then all of a sudden it's so much that you can't do much with it.
Sometimes it's a little check up, and then it's, the guy behind you will get pretty close, but then the guy behind you might tap you, and then the guy behind him will actually run him over. It just gets worse and worse and worse. And we've seen it at like on RT, like at Rolling Thunder on a Thursday where they have to do knockout qualifying for the Talladega Challenge. You've got 40 cars or 41 cars racing. And you talk about a little bit of a checkup amplifying. That sends a wave through the field like you wouldn't believe. By the time you get down to like the 30th car, it's madness. A little bit of a checkup turns into a catastrophe because people aren't given enough room. Or they're not just reading it. You kind of, in a race that dense too, you have to sort of predict the future sometimes.
So now, you're Rodney Sullins, you just pitted, you didn't really get a lap in. Do you think they're going to stay out? Now you're going to see some guys like, I guarantee you, probably Denny Carroll. If he's in the back of the pack, I don't know how far back he is, but he's not right up, to the front. He's probably going to pit, get tires and fuel, and, now he's got a different strategy he can use.
Almost had another accident there. McCarthy seems to be almost parked on the back there. I wonder if he had a controller issue. We always say that too. You are sitting at your office desk behind your game controller, which is usually a steering wheel. And you could have the cat jump up on the desk and knock the wheel out of your hands or mess up your pedals.
Ken Roberts, and I'm trying to find, it's just ASR Postal.
Yep.
Forget Postal's name, but and Dennis McCarthy.
Yep.
It's like Broad Auto, Chuck T.
Yep. All on the pits. Wolf's
that little episode, a little bit of a fender bender there with Brian Wolf, and I think the 94.
Yeah. Dale Shalinsky there.
Yep.
Shalinsky trying to get into his pit stall.
It was kind of a situation where these guys they're going to put themselves on a different strategy. What's great about it too, though, is you've got 8 guys. Every 8 guys, they're not in the front, so they're going to do something different. Those 8 guys decide to go all pit together, and then maybe they can go 3, maybe 4 laps more. That's great. Well, what happens is the lead cars pit, they go out and they just keep going, and the first thing that happens is if everybody pits at the same time under green flag conditions, that can be a bit messy. And if you have, maybe a less amount of guys, but guys that can draft really well together, they will, get down in pit road, get out of pit road quicker, possibly not lose too much time to the lead lap cars, the cars that were, the bigger drafting cars, and they'd be in a better position.
So the lights are still flashing. We were watching the replay there. Brian Wolf was going down for his pits. Ken Roberts was coming out, and they sort of got tangled. He tried to back up. Shalinsky bumped into him a little bit. Brian decided to bail on the pit stop. So
he'll come back in.
He'll come back. Yeah, this isn't the final pace.
We're still on the yellow.
Yeah, yellow flag lap. So he'll probably come back down and
he's coming down.
Do it with less interference.
Yeah, and that kind of gives you the idea. But imagine it when you come down this pit road here. Yes, it seems like it's fairly easy to get into, but there's a bit of a corner to the end of it. You've got 10 guys trying to get down there and get to their pit stall that coming from 200 miles an hour down to 55, depending on how much brake bias they got. Some people will lock up the left front. Some people, can't stop quick enough. It happens. And then
he
Brian
overshot his pit.
Just gonna say he overshoots his pit. You gotta let him know we're watching him.
Yep. No pressure.
None whatsoever.
You know what the crew chief's saying now? He's like, one of the air wrenches jammed. We're going to be a minute. Come on.
As a driver out here, even in a simulation like this,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, come on.
Yeah, it is. And you'll never race the same race twice, ever. Doesn't matter if you've done 10 races or 10,000 races in this thing over the last, 20-something years it's been out. No two races are ever the same. You'll have wrenches in the pit crew jamming all day long. You won't have a jam for 3 months. Your engine will never blow up, but it will in the craziest, you'll never, even if you never win a race, the day you're going to win, that's the day you're going to blow a camshaft up.
Oh, yeah.
It'll just be like, oh.
That random breakdown is the
This
worst.
never happens. Yeah, well, it can, and it will.
Early in my racing career, caution flag comes out. I am leading the race. I believe we were at Iowa. And I let off, cool down the backstretch, and go down through, and all of a sudden, the motor breaks.
Yeah.
And my head, it comes up as my header broke. The random breakdown was the header broke, and I was done. Leading the race under caution, and it blows up.
Wow. Under caution, so you're not even at full throttle.
No, didn't even downshift. They didn't, I did it all the way you're supposed to do everything.
Wow.
I was even just cruising down the backstretch in second gear, nice and slow, and it went poof.
Unreal. So
As I suspected, Danny Carroll
one
didn't
more.
pit the first time by, but he's going to pit the second time by. He's going to bring Chuck T, Dennis McCarthy, Brian Rosson with him. They're all going to try to just, I don't know about tires. We're going to see what they're doing. I know fuel for sure. And they're just going to try to see if they can maybe get themselves on a different lap with everybody else when it comes time to green flag pit stops.
Carroll is doing right sides.
Rosson only took fuel.
Yep, fuel only. Carroll doing full service.
Chuck T only took fuel.
Yep.
And Dennis McCarthy only took fuel.
Yep. It looks like
Now,
Carroll's still
Dennis,
sitting back there.
yeah, I was going to say, Danny might have had a little bit of damage.
Yep.
So now's the perfect time under caution just to go out there and, if you got just a little bit, get it fixed up. That way you'll be able to you'll be a little more competitive with, they pound that fender out a little bit. Last week's winner, Brian Wolf, back there in the 14th position after that mishap. So it'd be interesting to see, we haven't even got to the halfway point yet, but see if he can work his way back up there and if anybody will work with him. The philosophy you've always had, run up front all day. That's where you want to be. You want to run up front. Me, I'd rather run in the back. Downside to my philosophy is that when I finally do get up in the front at the end of the race, well, you ain't been up here all day. Nobody wants to work with you.
Right. That's the thing,
Yeah, that's the way I've always
Everybody
seen it
says,
happen to
get
me.
this guy out of here,
So it looks like, Rodney Sullins is taking the high side, putting Randy Waugh down at the bottom with Mike Mangialardi behind him. And then you've got Graham McDonald and Pat McCarsky behind Rodney Sullins. Be interesting to see. I tell you, Rodney's been right on these restarts. Timing them just right and getting a great launch, which is enough for him to keep control of the race.
Randy Waugh right next to him, so it's basically the same setup as we were a few laps ago. Mangialardi gets the bump from Finley. Everybody seems to allow enough space that time to get through turn one. Got to get these things warmed up again.
So now we're building up speed. Inside groove. Ooh, Rodney Sullins pulls high.
That's him pulling away to
Strategy for something.
go to the back.
I guarantee you'll probably see him as soon as he can. No, he's not.
That's
He's
strange.
basically, yeah.
He's dominated this race. The only other people to lead laps is Dennis McCarthy and Brad Otto and Mike Mangialardi. They all have 1. Rodney has led the other 20. So we will have a new leader. And it will be Graham McDonald at 24.
I'm kind of hoping now that he wins so he can try to figure out what that strategy was.
Yeah. Drops to the back.
He might lose the draft if he ain't careful. The good thing is that they're side by side in front of him. That makes a bigger window for him. He'll be fine, I believe. There's got to be some strategy behind that.
Yeah, especially to do that and then not just like if something happened that he had to go.
Right.
Like his daughter calls him, he's got to go pick her up from wherever. You know, you would kind of you would pull over, slam on the brakes, Alt F4, shut your computer off, and just go.
Yep.
But he's not pitting. He's just moved to the back, and he is probably going to lose that draft.
That hands the lead over to Graham McDonald.
Yeah.
Pat McCarsky right behind him. He got a good enough run. They had Randy Waugh behind him on the bottom, but they went to that middle groove where everybody wants to be, right in front of Ed Finley. And Simonik is right behind him. John Godfrey now he's got his lap back. He's back up there near the front of the pack. He's somewhere around the 6th, 7th spot.
Who are you looking for?
John Godfrey is. He's worked remember, he was a lap down not too long ago from that earlier incident. Now he's right there, 5th car back on the outside, but he's starting to think about making a line of his own out there in the 3rd groove with Brian Wolf and Ken Roberts right behind him. Ed Finley kind of moved up in front of Simonik and Ed Finley moved up in front of John Godfrey. They see that momentum coming. They want to go grab it.
Oh, they're putting their dance on. Yeah, just jumped out beside Simonik there. The big push. You can see from this camera angle how much this bump drafting works on the back straightaway.
But Godfrey said, nope, I'm not having any of that. The 4 guys behind him stayed with him, and they went to the high side. Now you got Finley and Simonik kind of stuck in the middle. You got a 3rd car behind him. I think that's Jack's. Yep.
Got to think off of Reddit here, this custom camera pack for Talladega. And our Clips user on Reddit that just does great work with these camera packs. Because these tracks never changed orientation. You know, they're all kind of built off the originals. So you can take a camera pack from any version of Talladega and just replace them. Sometimes, trackside signage and stuff gets in the way. A little bit like right here, the screen will go blue.
Yeah.
Not a blue screen of death like you would on Windows. It's just a Sunoco sign that probably wasn't there in a different version of Talladega. So.
Oh
no,
my
gracious.
That started all the way up in the front. I don't know if it come out to be a caution or if they saved it.
No.
So Pat McCarsky got in the back of McDonald.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. That transferred back to Randy Waugh, to Mike Mangialardi, and then before you know it, that accordion effect was back to where somebody ended up getting turned.
And Roberts went for a ride. We'll drive along with Roberts. His race might be done. He went for about 19 flips. We'll count them. We're going to actually see where the accident occurred first. And we'll get back to the flips. Oh, it looks like the chin get pushed off.
I'm not sure how.
He did on entrance there to turn 3. Looks like Chin got on the apron, flattened the car out. Finley goes around. Rawson, instant detonation when he hit the fence. The motor just went right out of that 6. Oh,
I didn't see the incident. I just kind of saw the accordion effect start happening, and I thought, oh yeah, for sure, this is not going to be good. I know it's going to transfer all the way to the back.
That's right on board of Rawson. The engine instantly exploded when it hit the fence. Yeah, you can see the smoke.
Wow.
I mean, it's still running, I think. Yeah, it is still running. I don't know if they can fix that, though. That's definite engine damage.
All of the front runners, except for Brian Wolf.
Let's want to count the flips on the Robertsmobile?
Sure, why not?
It's always fun. Not for Roberts, but anyway, count the
Oh,
amount of
it's
times the
not.
wheels come back to the ground here. So we're going to get 1, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 flips. What's that look like from the cockpit, Blaine? Glad you asked.
Aren't we supposed to say Corey every time?
Oh, yeah. Corey, what's this replay?
Corey. The 3 cars that stayed out, Brian Wolf, Adam Simonic, and Ed Finley decided to stay out. It'd be interesting to see if Brian's probably just trying to maybe lead a lap.
I'm just going on a limb and say Ken Roberts, probably kind of dizzy after that one, has retired from the race. Sullins has retired also. Sullins has retired. Wait a second.
David Chennon's retired.
I'm going to find that now, too.
Rodney Sullins is a gearbox. It probably lost 4th gear. Let's see if we can grab Rodney Sullins and see what happened with him.
Yeah, grab him. We're on board right now looking at the replay.
Rodney Sullins, Rod Weston up in the booth with Blaine Donnelly. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
So we see that you retired with a gearbox, dominating this race for the most part. Did you lose a gear?
Yeah, I lost 4th gear under caution a while ago.
That sucks. We were kind of wondering. We were watching you there, and all of a sudden on the restart, you kind of went to the high side. And I'm thinking strategy. It's strategy. Boy, it's really early to kind of maybe. He knows something we don't know. We didn't realize that you lost a gear until I looked at the thing. Car was great tonight, though. I love the car. It looks awesome. You want to just tell us a little bit about the car and your night so far?
Well, yeah, qualified on the pole. Car was fast. The guys in the shop did a great job with this thing. It looked good. It raced good. It was fast, but the guy that built the transmission left something out, evidently, because 4th gear just grenaded under caution a while ago. And, well, I stayed out when that one caution came just because I was in 1st. So I wanted to lead some more laps just in case I might be able to lead the most, even though I'm done. Because I led, I don't know how many I've led, 18 or so, maybe, if I'm lucky.
20.
If nobody else passes that, that'll be an extra point or 2, because I've missed a race or here and kind of struggling back in the points. Got wrecked in one race, so I'm just trying to get up there to maybe have a good season, finish it off. But it's been a struggle. I just can't get everything to line up and get good finishes.
Yeah, like we said, Brian said, you get led 20 tonight so far. That still could get you the most laps led. Who knows? Depends on how the rest of the night goes. But just wanted to find out what happened. I figured when we saw that, I was like, that sucks. You had the fastest car out there tonight. You really, really look good. So unfortunately, you're out. You're done for the night. You're going to continue on and catch him next week, hopefully.
I should be back next week. I'm going to watch the broadcast and enjoy your guys' commentary.
Thanks,
I'm going
buddy.
to give you the opportunity to thank the people that got you there, though, just for a moment, just because such a great painter.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. Of course, you guys for what you do with the broadcast, Tarnation TV, ASR, and the guys at ASR. Brian Wolf doing what he does for this league, and my teammates at Burnt Screwdrivers Racing, Black Rifle Coffee. My dad's usually watching. I don't know if he's watching yet. He was doing some grilling a little earlier, but if you're still watching, you can watch the rest of the race, but I won't be in it. But thanks to guys at the shop. Good car. It's bad 4th gear. Thank you, guys.
All right. Well, there was Rodney Sullins. The person I pretty much had picked for the win. He was running really, really good. Unfortunately, I lost the transmission tonight. So, give that transmission guy not a raise, but lower his pay and tell him to do it right next time.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming down.
Right.
That's Rodney.
Appreciate you having me, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Rodney. It's funny. Yeah, you don't give him a raise. You just make him go like fetch grilled cheese sandwiches and get you another coffee or whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the gopher. Go for coffee. Go for pizza.
Yeah.
Go for that wrench.
At least that answers our question.
Yeah,
Did
because I
not
looked at
understand
him
why he did that.
under yellow there, and he was way off. And it was the same deal. I went into the cockpit, and you could see he was trying to shift to fourth, but it was not there. Unfortunately, yeah, David Chin involved in that accident as well. We just went back on the replay to see, and he was damaged and has retired also.
Yeah, and then Rosson had a header break. So as I talked about that, he loses a header, and then he's done for the evening.
Yeah. So Paglia isn't on the track. He's also
I see he's still
running.
counting laps.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, I was going to say something about that earlier. I don't know where, what, when, and how, but every time I got ready to say something about it, something else came up and we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
We're going to get back to the leaders. Now, Graham McDonald's out there in the lead. Randy Waugh on the outside. He's got, Graham McDonald's got Pat McCarsky and Postal right behind him. Waugh has got Mangialardi and Denny Carroll behind him. So we know that Denny Carroll and Randy Waugh, when they get together, they actually like to work together. So.
Okay, so I'm just going back in the game log here, in the chat log. It said Paglia disconnected, and he actually never reconnected. So
it's kind of weird that keeping him in there and didn't say that he disconnected. That was weird.
Yeah, if you disconnect, but you're still being
right.
It still says he's running on our tally here. I mean, obviously, on the broadcast, it says he's 17 laps down, which is obviously when he got disconnected. So he was in the race. He could have come back, but if he had a power outage or something at home, maybe lost the internet.
Pace cars down pit road.
Graham McDonald
on the bottom. Randy Waugh on the high side. Let's see who gets the better start on this one. Who's going to get the better push.
So, I just thought of something, too, with Rodney making lane choice to the left lane. And then losing fourth gear was a bonus because he was just able to slide up to the wall and let everybody go by him.
Right.
If he'd have stayed on this low line, you'd have nowhere to go.
But that would have been a nightmare. I'm pretty sure all of these guys are all in the same room. They can actually all talk to each other.
Oh yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that because he had said he lost the transmission during the caution. So I'm pretty sure he probably shouted at everybody and said, I'm just going to start the race. I'm going to go to the high side. You all go by underneath me.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah, I'll choose the right lane and I'll get out of your way. I've only got third.
And I've been there before, and you want to see him stay and keep going, but running this in third gear is painful.
That's impossible. Yeah.
Not impossible. It's just painful.
Yeah, you're in the way because you're so much slower. What's third gear max out at? Probably $160, $170.
Probably, and that's if you're pegging it.
And that's 40 mile an hour slower than a main pack is going. So that's a big. You're more of an obstacle.
Oh boy! Ooh, what a save!
We're locked on to Graham, and you were locked on him too. Apparently, very good save.
Graham McDonald had a great save. Pat McCarsky just kind of got into him, and it just didn't. Trying to give him a little bunt draft, and it just did not go right. And Graham did a heck of a save. Randy Waugh was able to make that high side groove. Mike Mangialardi, Denny Carroll, and John Godfrey on that high side. Jax is trying to go on the third groove out there. Oh, what a move by Dennis McCarthy. He went from the high side behind Jax all the way down to the low side in front of Graham McDonald. Now he's going back up behind John Godfrey. He's trying to figure out a way to get himself up there a little bit more towards the front.
Yeah, you need cars behind you. I'm coming onto the back straight here. I'll flip it into spectator view. We're locked onto McCarthy right now. He's trying to find a buddy. He's being pulled by the 7-Eleven of John Godfrey. So he's got the draft in front and behind. He just doesn't really have any pushers right now. Looks like Brian Wolf's going to join him.
Yeah, he's basically, when he's gotten a pretty decent run, he's tried to do something with it, but he has not had enough cars that will be able to, or that are kind of able to follow him or willing to follow him.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then making those decisions and then going back on them, who wants to get behind you? Is this guy going to make up his mind? but he's still carrying speed. You're not losing speed by doing that. So it looks like he's found a spot.
sometimes when you got an erratic rider like that, you know, in front of you, you're like, no.
Yeah, but now that he's settled in, you know where he's going to be now. He's going to be right behind Godfrey, and that's when Brian snuck down behind him to kind of, you know, like you said, tighten that up and let's drive away from these guys.
But they like I said, on the restarts, people are going to try to make moves, and once they realize that they can't do it, then they're going to just try to get into that line, and then hopefully they can get enough people together to maybe, you know, to make some moves. But it's pretty early in the race. The only thing you're trying to do now, if you can, is trying to get out there, at least lead a lap and maybe lead the most laps. And that right now, Randy Waugh, he's out there trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, wrong button.
Currently focused on ASR Postal here in the 8th position. He's got Pat McCarthy behind him.
So, you know, and you had Graham McDonald and Pat McCarthy that were on the bottom on that restart. And now they're back there in the, you know, Graham McDonald's back there in the 7th position.
Yeah.
They just couldn't get it done quick enough. So as you can see, it's kind of like the old way of Talladega, the Pied Piper. They're just going to follow for a little bit, you know, let the tires wear down, let the fuel run out. And, you know, unless you can get somebody to start going and maybe make that move, they're just going to run this way.
Yeah, thanks everybody for watching on YouTube. We've got about 60 hits tonight, so that's always cool. Sunday's a very busy night with the NASCAR 2003 community, so we're just another race on YouTube. But yeah, we appreciate the eyeballs being attached to this video.
We try to do the best we can.
Yes, we do.
To keep you as informed as much as we can. Like I said, right now everybody's just content being in line. You run laps. You're not going to win it on lap 38. So
nope. Want to
can
keep
wreck
that car
it on
clean.
lap 38 though.
Moderate damage is nice. Obviously, we've seen you can still be forced to leave the race early with damage, but you can take a little bump here and there, and it does lead to more violent bump drafting, which is always nice. Because if realistic was on, you could actually damage the nose of your car if you hit somebody too hard.
Yep, absolutely.
But when you got moderate, you can let her rip.
It's amazing that there's some leagues out there that these super speedway style leagues that will run with no damage. And you would think, you know,
no damage,
oh, this is going to be horrible. You know, they're going to be horrible. They're going to be pushing each other all over the place because, you know, other than ruining tires and a random breakdown, you can't hurt the car. But what happens with those leagues is they come into a more of a penalty system. You know, they watch the replays afterwards and they will find out if you caused the caution or, you know, you were driving over your head or whatever, and then you can receive penalties. And it's amazing that them guys just run so good doing that.
They do, yeah. You think it would be a demolition derby, but I mean, Primetime does that, right? They don't run with damage at Talladega, and it's great racing. Like you said, you think it would be just a wrecking ball out there, but it's not.
They know that they're, you know, the eyes of God are over the top of them, and if they make a mistake, they could lose a lap. I'm not really sure what the penalties are, but I do know that I think over there they do a system where if you cause the caution and you feel as you cause the caution, you pit on the second time by, you take full service, which should put you in the back of the pack, and then you're not going to serve any penalty for what happened.
Right.
And that just kind of puts you in the back. But they like I said, they all run real respectable. You would think that the no damage, it would be not. It's not. They run really, really great.
Back at the pack here with Brad Otto. Probably has a little bit of damage there too, unable to hold on to that main draft. He's still in the draft though. He's still doing 190-ish.
Hardest thing you can do is stay right in the line with somebody that doesn't have the damage. And I'll tell you, Mike Mangialardi is putting dents in the back of Randy Waugh's car with that Ford Thunderbird. He is pushing him down the straightaways. Denny Carroll right behind him. John Godfrey. Pretty much all stayed in the same thing. Dennis McCarthy. Graham McDonald's currently back there. Well, I think he's 5th, 6th. Like I said, they're just kind of staying in line, running out laps. They're going to be about probably, I'd say, 5 laps away from 20 to go. And when we get down to 15, 20 to go, we're going to have to probably have one more pit stop in here at some point, but business will start picking up.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah,
watching
just wa-
Mangialardi beat up the rear bumper of that 21 of Randy Waugh. So Corey gets to watch Dad get pushed down the back straightaway.
A lot of fun races with Waugh, look at Mangialardi, Denny Carroll, John Godfrey. Race with Dennis over to Rolling Thunder. Graham McDonald over to, PRL. Pat McCarsky, many places.
Yep. Let's go through the row here. We got Waugh in first place. Second place, Mike Mangialardi. Third place, Denny Carroll. John Godfrey in fourth. Dennis McCarthy in the 024, that UPS car. Brown and gold. In the fifth position, behind him, we got Graham McDonald in sixth. Pat McCarsky in seventh. ASR Postal in eighth. Chuck T, haven't really talked much about him tonight, but he's in ninth. Position number 10 held by Adam Simonik. Ed Finley right behind him in the 11th in the 80 car. The 29 car driven by Brian Wolf in the 13th position. C. Jax, the 034 car in 12th, the pace car. Not doing much. Dale Shalinsky in 14th. Brad Otto in 15th. Those are the cars that remain on the track.
We're all in one big group, except for, I think, 94 is having a bit of an issue.
Sandra Sullins in the YouTube chat about 4 minutes ago said, "Go 38." Do you want to break the news to her? Or?
Yeah, I think she probably did it before he left, but unfortunately lost a transmission.
Fourth gear, which is, transmission failure. FYI, I had to Rodney in the YouTube chat there too. For your information, the UPS car has a fiberglass roof just like the trucks. Yeah, I drive for FedEx. I can say we got them fiberglass roofs because let the sun shine in.
Oh, gosh.
Don't need to use the interior lights in the daytime because the roof is fiberglass. The older trucks had the wood roofs. They were brutal. They're like a tomb back there. You can't see nothing. And if you had an issue with your dome lights, you were basically in the dark.
Got to learn how to fix them.
I usually just take it upon myself to do small stuff like that.
Yeah.
They want you to write the truck up and send it to the garage. I'm like, I'm not sending my truck away because it's got like a sticky door handle. I just go buy a bottle of honey goo or WD-40 and just do it myself. Sometimes it's all it needs. It's a little spritz. Everybody here, like you said, the Pied Piper, we're all just following each other because we're going to be coming up on pit stops here too. So
that should be, we didn't really keep track of it, and Seth Cole would be like, come on, guys, write your notes. We should be seeing pit stops here probably, I would say in a few laps. We've been few good green flag laps. Probably most of them.
Within the next, within the next 15 laps or so.
Yeah.
Just
I would say
do the maximum. It's way tighter than that.
Yeah, it's going to be a situation where right now they're going to hit the line with 20 to go.
Yep.
We figure they can do about, probably Randy Waugh can do maybe 19. Being the leader out there, he's going to be the worst one on fuel.
Right.
If you're Graham McDonald back there, mind you, you're going to be the best one on fuel. So.
And that's the thing. Now is the point where they know the next pit stop will get them to the end. So you don't necessarily need to run it dry before you pit. You could pit early if you have a couple of buddies that are willing to go with you. Pit early, get full service, and know you can just make it. Or run it till you need to and do it then. So now there's a bunch of strategies in play now of who wants to get ahead of that pack and go early. Or do you run it dry and go with everybody, or, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 laps? It could be a lot of different things floating through these guys' heads. Problem is, Talladega Superspeedway racing, you're going to want to be going in there with 2 or 3 buddies.
Yeah. Just going to say, you want to do it early, want to make sure that you've got a good core group of guys with you, guys that are going to be able to get in and out of there quick, because that's the big thing. You can lose a lot of time pitting. And you want to be able to get them all out there together, and then you just got to get nose to tail and just start rolling it and let it go, and hoping that when the other guys pit, so that their pit isn't as fast, and by you guys being out there and still rolling it, you may surpass it. The other advantage too is you're not going to lose a lap possibly if you do it right. Get in line quick enough.
McDonald.
Should the caution come out, you're already pitted. You're going to go right up to the front.
So Graham McDonald.
Pull down, did he?
Yep. Somebody's with him, actually. And the 034 of Jax is down as well. Do we have a caution? The red flag is out on pit road.
I don't know why we would have the red flag out, but yeah.
It's showing me the
These
red
cars
flag
got no
on
light.
pit road. That's strange. The flag man at the entrance of pit road has the red flag out, so I was just wondering. So Otto is pitting. Okay.
Now we got Brian Wolf coming in.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Pretty much everyone except for one car.
That's Chuck
Is that
T.
Chuck? Yeah, I was going to say that's Chuck.
And basically, he's going to lead a lap. Now, the downside to it is it's going to be a lap where he's currently right now doing 180 miles an hour, where they were doing 199.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what, he's going to have that thing flat out, and he's not going to go as fast as they were. He's got to get into pit road, get out of pit road, and not lose a lot of time. Hope that he can pick up the draft.
Finley overshot the pit stall. Looks like he's taking left sides. Most guys are getting tires. Finley actually opted to get fuel and take left side tires.
Angelardi took 4. He's going to come out a little bit back from, the front, that lead pack. He's going to have to try to get up to speed quick. He's got Brian Wolf right behind him, but they've got a little bit of a gap in between the top 4 guys that came out of the pits together. That's where you see Randy Waugh leading it.
I lost
And
Chuck.
after everything comes out and all said and done, you're going to have John Godfrey is going to be our leader. He's got a bit of a lead, so I wonder if he may have taken a little bit less fuel.
Yeah, and Chuck has taken right side tires. You got to get gas, so you might as well choose to take 2 tires and one of the other. So that looks like what he's doing. Fueling up the car with right sides.
Dennis McCarthy, Randy Waugh,
Now here comes the pack.
Denny Carroll get all by him. Looks like Posto is going to get by John Godfrey. Now hopefully he can tuck in behind. He's kind of got the draft a little bit. He's going to lose it. They're kind of playing the high side, low side up front.
I was just attached to Chuck here as he comes out of the pits. He's trying to find some partners here. He's got her up into 3rd gear now. We got Simonic and it looks like Finley sneaking on him if they're going to give him a push. Probably not. He will be able to latch on to these guys though.
Dennis McCarthy's going to be a leader once Chuck gets out there, because he was leader there a minute ago.
Okay.
Pit stop. He's going to be the leader. Randy Waugh 2nd. Denny Carroll, John Godfrey, Postal, Mike Mangialardi. They're going to be 6 cars all together.
Yeah.
And you got to have about little ways back Brian Wolf and the 24.
Yeah, so there's about a 4.17 second gap from 6 to 7.
Monic, Finley, and Chuck T. Chuck hopefully can catch up with Finley there. We're going to get 5 cars in the draft, which should help them out a little bit, but with the 6 cars up front, if they can stay nose to tail. But once they get a little bit, they're only about 4 seconds behind. We're going to find out when they hit the start-finish line here if that is improved or actually gone down.
Dale Shalinski showing the black flag. From
so they lost.
Yeah.
They lost about a second, but they just formed up. So.
Interesting. Now I like this because there's about, what do we got here? Yeah, there's about 12 laps or so to go. I wonder if that's enough time for them to knock that time. Probably not.
With the guys the way they're running right now in the front, no. If they're smart, they're doing what they're doing. They're going to stay up there and they're just going to run nose to tail so that second pack can't get there. If they started getting racy now, it would open the door for that second pack.
This second pack, which we're looking at right now, led by Brian Wolf, they're not lined up to be optimal right now.
Randy Waugh has led 17 laps for the evening, so he hasn't surpassed Rodney Sullins yet. Dennis McCarthy out there currently right now, he's led 4 laps. So if Randy Waugh wants that extra bonus points, he's going to have to get out there and get 3 more.
Oh, I was just saying, Shalinsky being shown the black flag, and then I jumped onto his car, and it has now disappeared, which means Dale Shalinsky has just been disqualified from the race.
Oh, no.
He just crossed the start-finish line. I'm thinking that on our telemetry behind the scenes here, we can see the black flag was being shown to Shalinsky for a few laps. Apparently, that was the end of the third. He only get 3 laps to serve it. And right after he crossed the start-finish line, and it's like, well, you've completed 3 laps, so he got halfway through turn 1, and the car disappeared. And now it just came up, disqualification. The 94 will finish 15th.
I believe when we hit the start-finish line, we're going to have 10 to go. So now you're going to see the 6 cars that are out front start jockeying a little bit for positions to see who's going to win this. McCarthy's just going to be racing through his front. Instead of looking at the front of the car, he's going to spend probably 90% of the time looking out that rearview mirror. We've got Denny, Carroll, and Randy Waugh right behind him. We know they'll probably work together. I know Denny wants to win. I know Randy wants to win, but a lot of times those guys will try to just stick together and work together. John Godfrey, I'm not sure, who he'd work with out here. It looks like he keeps looking down like he wants to try to get some room to go. Postal, and then Mike Mangialardi. I don't know Postal well enough. He does seem to run well, so.
Yeah, who's he going to go with, right? Oh, in the YouTube chat there, Sullins is saying, check out the roof on the 24. Dennis wanted a UPS car to look like his old UPS truck, so he tried to make. Oh, so he was talking about the fiberglass roof. 1 second.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what he did. Nice. Yep, it looks like fiberglass. That's cool.
That was
the reference.
Yeah. So the 5 cars back there that got that late start at it. Now they're currently 8 seconds back. So the only thing that's going to save them now is a caution. Once these guys start getting a little bit racy, which we're under 10 to go now, they're going to start getting a little bit more racy. Once they do, that's going to open the door for the guys to make up time, but it's going to be too late for them to get there.
Yeah, because they're slowly putting on about half a second on lap 8. Now they're up to 8.5 now from the leader, so.
CCR Jax just went a lap down. He'd been out there running by himself out there without any friends. You're not going to go very fast. He'll probably stake right to the back of this draft if he doesn't have too much damage. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to catch it.
Now, if anybody's going to hop out in this main pack here, we're currently focused on McCarthy, the leader of the race, being pushed by the 21, Randy Waugh, the 41 behind him, Denny Carroll. You think Godfrey jumps out and then Postal and Mangialardi, you're going to go with him? Or but which way do you go, right? Because this is not a high groove track. You want to go to the left.
Right. So what's going to happen, I believe, you've got Randy Waugh that's probably whispering with Denny, saying, I'm going to go here. If they'll go now, we'll go. They're all trying to figure out who's going to go and who's going to help who
and when.
And they got to start thinking about making that move, because if you do it too late, you're going to run out of time. But it's a big question is who goes with who,
Yeah.
For example, I'm just using as an example, if John Godfrey can't stand Denny Carroll and Randy Waugh, he's not going to go with them. Not saying that's the case. I'm just saying if they go, he's not going to go with them. So,
But I'm thinking Denny has to go. You follow Denny.
Yeah.
But then
Oh,
he
yeah.
has to go left. Otherwise, I'm not following him.
Right. Yeah, because if he goes, but the thing of it is, like I said, if you've got a driver you don't really care for racing, and he goes, you just leave him down the bottom by himself and go by him, gain that one position. Sometimes, people, you don't know, racers hold grudges.
Yep.
Never forget.
I hold grudges. I work for FedEx. I should paint a FedEx car and get out there and race with McCarthy. It's so funny because people think we're like on the road, like, oh man, here comes the UPS guy. I'm like, oh, that's Brad. Oh, you know him? I'm like, yeah, like we don't want to punch each other out. We're all couriers, man. We're all in this together. We're all buddies. People think there's like a turf war and we're gonna fight each other. I'm like, I don't care who shipped your stuff. I'm just delivering it. I leave these guys all kinds of room. You see them coming down the street, where they're going to go. You leave them a gap, let them get through, block traffic, all kinds of cool stuff. We help each other out.
Getting down to almost 5 laps to go here.
Lap traffic.
Nobody's really made a move.
Pat McCarthy.
Problem with the lap traffic fields, you could use them for somewhat of an advantage, but once you get to them, their speed is so much different. The advantage could, come to a complete stop real quick.
Yeah, I'm focusing, kind of keeping the camera on Godfrey, sort of in the middle of this pack here. If anybody's making a move, I'm thinking it's got to be the 41. But the 41 and the 21 work together a lot.
Yep.
So do you think they might have each other on a whisper? Maybe McCarthy's out of the slope and Randy goes for it?
I used to be on that whisper, so yes. When we did the mega marathon races.
Yeah.
I had Denny Carroll and myself were two of the guys that were the constant teams. And then we had an episode one night where one of our drivers couldn't make it, so they gave us Randy Wan, and actually it was a pretty good fit for us. So
that's the thing. So I'm thinking now McCarthy might be out of the loop on this because Wan might be in communication with the 41.
Yeah.
Now Godfrey, I'm not sure about Godfrey. He can go anywhere, really.
Yeah.
But the 41 and the 21 aren't strangers.
And you got Postal back. You got, Denny McCarthy. He's from Rolling Thunder, but I don't know if he races over here on a regular basis. Just decided to do the Superspeedway series, or he runs with them guys.
So and they're also familiar with McCarthy. Like I'm talking about McCarthy, like he hasn't been around. Like this guy, I recognize the name.
Yep.
I've actually never called a race with him in it until this series, but I've raced in places and seen that name. So these guys all know each other. I just wonder about the Whisper channel on if McCarthy's part of that Whisper channel.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I don't think Denny and Randy run over to Rolling Thunder, but I know Dennis. I've raced with him in all kinds of different series and different clans, and he's a racer. It's almost kind of like Denny Carroll and Randy Waugh. They'll show up in the strangest places. They're racers. They want to race just about every night.
And he's 100% looking out that rearview mirror right now.
Keeping up on him. We're getting this time by. It should be 2 laps to go. So now the next thing too, I also think about it like this. You're Randy Waugh and Denny Carroll. I don't know where you are in the points. I didn't pull that up. But this is a great points night to finish 1-2. Dennis may not be really in the points, so yes, they're going to lose a couple of points, but whoa!
Oh no.
Something happened there. Randy Waugh might have got a bump from Denny Carroll. It just didn't go good.
I think that was just a maneuver for Waugh not to come into contact with McCarthy, because that bump could have messed up the whole front end of that pack right there. He might have just made a quick move to the right to prevent turning McCarthy. I don't want to go into replay mode. We're coming down within the last couple of laps here. So that definitely changes things.
That slowed Randy down, so it knocked him pretty much out of it. Don't know if Mangialardi, he got slowed down a little bit by it too. Don't know if these guys up front are going to have to start getting racy. Looks like Mangialardi will probably be okay. He actually might be pretty good up to a decent amount of speed by the time he catches them guys for this last lap.
Yeah. The white flag will be in the air now.
So now McCarthy's gone to the bottom, trying to protect the bottom of the groove there. Just depends on who's got. So Mangialardi's got that head of speed. He's caught up to the back of Postal.
If something's going to happen, if something's going to happen, it has to happen now.
There goes Mangialardi just trying to get somebody to go. I think you're going to look at the deal with Denny Carroll and John Godfrey. I don't know how their races have been going. I've only been able to do this a couple of times with you, but the caution flag is out, so they're racing back to the green.
To the checker. Yeah. There it is. Yeah, no crazy moves at the last minute. They couldn't figure it out. Dennis McCarthy in the 024, your winner this evening. What a race, man. And he led 18 laps, I believe it was. And my stats probably haven't updated yet, so I'm going to say 18. So Rodney Sullins will get credit for the most laps led tonight with 20.
Yeah. We told him he might still get that.
It was close, but yeah. Fastest lap of the night tonight, 47.899 by Brian Wolf, 199.7 mile an hour.
Ended up finishing ninth for the evening. Only 11 cars finished on the lead lap. And then we had a total of 14 cars finish. Pat McCarthy, Jax, and Brad Otto were three of the cars that were one lap down. Top five is going to be McCarthy, Carroll, Godfrey, Postal, and Mangialardi in the Napa Ford. Let's see if we can find John Godfrey and get him up here. It'd be interesting to talk to that old boy.
Yeah, Rodney Sullins in the chat they're saying, John did get a little bit of damage early in the race, so he probably wasn't going to jump out. And good points night for everybody. 20 guys showed up tonight. They have finally put Mark Paglia down for a lost connection status on his status column.
Well, we've got a headset on John Godfrey, third place finisher. Started the race out there, got caught up into a little bit of an earlier incident, ended up getting yourself a lap down, got the lap back on a lucky dog, got yourself back up near their front there, and ended up finishing third for the night. So give us a little bit more information about how your night went.
Blaine, Rod, is it really you?
Yes, sir.
Wow, I haven't talked to you guys in eons. This is a treat. It was an up and down night. I really didn't like my chances after that little skirmish on lap one, but I stuck it out and got the lucky dog, and son of a gun, here we are.
Yeah, and like I say, you weren't after that. You kind of stuck around there, and then once you got up to the front, we thought you guys would maybe make a little bit more of a charge to try to get by him, or were you guys kind of thinking of the fact, I'm in third, fourth position. This is a great points night. Are you in for the whole series?
Yeah, I definitely had a couple of rough races to start the season, so I needed a good finish. And frankly, I was anticipating more. I thought the 21 and the 41 would work together. They usually do to go around the 024, so I was waiting for all that to shake up. And I guess the 21 got a bumper grab off the 024, and that kind of took that out of the equation. Just wondered what 41 would do and how things were going to shake up, but everybody stayed in line.
Like I said, keeping yourself into the points, you kind of look at like whatever happened to Randy Waugh there. Had he just stayed there, he had possibly second place, and now, it dropped him back down to the sixth position. So, yeah, I think a lot of you guys are just trying to be smart about the whole points thing. You're only halfway through the season, so Blaine's got all the stats on where you guys are in points. I'd have to go scrolling for it, try to find them.
You'd probably have to scroll way down to find me, Rod.
Oh. All right, Blaine, if you ain't got nothing for John, I'm going to let him have the mic and have him just thank the people that got him here.
Yeah, man. No, it's always fun watching you guys do this thing. And Rod always covers me at the end of the race because I'm saving replays and getting camera angles on the winner and all kinds of fun stuff. But yeah, man, it's always great having you out here. Thanks for all the work you do too behind the scenes when it comes to all the track textures and stuff. I'll be broadcasting some random track somewhere and like, oh look, there's a Tarnation TV logo in the field, and I know that Mr. Godfrey probably put it there. So that's yeah, man. Thanks we all support everybody in this deal, so it's always fun to talk to you and see you out there racing.
I appreciate that. Thanks for all you guys do to put this out there on YouTube, and thanks to Brian Wolf and the people over at ASR for putting this series together. It's a fun thing to do on a Sunday night. We've had great turnouts. I really appreciate that, and of course, thanks to the team for giving me a fast race car tonight, and really happy that I managed to avoid all the trouble and home in third.
Well, there you go. Our third place finisher for tonight, John Godfrey. Now, you just got to keep doing that and get yourself up there in the points so you can, win this whole thing.
Hey, Rod, that's the plan every week. It just doesn't seem to work out that way most weeks.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on your third place finish. Hopefully you can do some more of that next week.
Thanks, guys.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, second place finisher. I didn't think you'd be up here. I had no hope for you to be up there at all. I mean, really.
I had damage. I couldn't pull out. I was just happy to be where I was at.
Well, we were kind of wondering if you and Randy were going to try to make a move or just say, hey, second and third ain't bad. That's good points.
Well, we was going to Randy Bumper hooked off of Dennis.
Yep.
Because I had to have a car with me. I had some damage.
Oh, okay. So you just decided at that point, well, he's going to win. I'm going to take second. That's a great points name.
Oh, yeah. If I'd have pulled out, I'd have went straight backwards. I couldn't run by myself.
Fortunately, I lost the information on how many laps you might have led tonight, but I don't
think I led any.
Yeah,
he didn't.
I was wondering if
zero.
That tells you a little bit.
Well, when that first costume came out, I come around there was cars on the track, and I went low, and I think I got in the back of somebody, and it gave me some front end damage.
Yeah, that's not a help here. I like to give Denny a hard time. We used to be teammates, and we used to race against each other. We had a lot of fun racing with each other.
Well, we used to be.
Yeah, I haven't had to put a steering wheel on my bench for some time. I keep threatening.
Did you race anywhere?
No, in real life, yeah, that's it. So kind of one of those.
That's better than what I'm doing.
Yeah, that might be true. All right, well, yeah. I keep telling you to come on up. We'll put you in a cart.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to go back and watch it. I appreciate you guys broadcasting it and Brian for putting it on.
All right,
I
buddy.
just appreciate being here. Thanks, guys.
All right, well, you want anybody else you need to thank, bud?
Just God, my family, and hope everybody has a safe week.
All right, buddy. Well, there you go. Our second place finisher, Danny Carroll. I like to give him a hard time. We're good buddies. We've been kind of online friends for a long time. So congratulations on your second place finish.
Thank you.
Thanks, Danny. Have a good night.
See you, Brad.
Now, our winner for tonight, Dennis McCarthy. I raced with you over to Rolling Thunder. Missed racing you guys over there, but the mod they were running, I had troubles with my computer at that time running it, so I couldn't keep doing it. But first place, go ahead.
Love it, man. I've had those issues with the computer, just getting back on after 13-year hiatus. My first win. Feels good.
That's pretty cool. You had it. Yeah, you ran around the middle of the pack through most of the night. Pit strategy got you out there. You the first one out of the pits, got out there. The guys kind of just made a few charges at you. We kept watching after restarts. People would try to see what they could do, and then once they couldn't, they kind of line up. Had a bunch of them behind you. I'm pretty sure you were pretty busy watching that rear view mirror, but nobody really kind of made it a move at you. I think they were more just kind of fighting. We've talked with Denny and them. They were just, I'm in a great points night. I'm going to stay where I am and just, let him go and go. Nobody really fought, tried to get it from you.
Yeah, once I saw Randy, he almost hooked me. I do appreciate him, backing off. He could have taken us both out. I had John behind Denny, and Denny not pushing too hard really made the difference. Like you said, though, the pit strategy was everything. Thank God for my overactive bladder that I gave up position to run up to the bathroom and run back down.
I've had friends that do that.
It enabled me to take a can and a half on that last stop, but I was on the brink of running out.
There was a guy I raced over to Hobo that did that every night. He'd be leading the race and he'd pull down pit road, stop, go pee, come back, and he'd still end up winning the race. But
yeah, I got to give a shout out to all my BSR guys. We had a lot of them knocked out with attrition, motor problems, but they've really taken me under their wing the past 5 months since I've been back and given me a little tutelage and showing me the ropes a little bit and helping me out. You gotta have friends out here.
Absolutely, especially with these super speedway races.
Absolutely. Being new to these guys and gaining their respect. These are my old open speedway guys that I used to race with. A shout out to Bosco, rest in peace. I just found out a little while ago that he just passed away recently and died. So
that's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Now, this was your first race on this Sunday Night Super Speedway Series?
Nope.
No. I've been in here. I had to take a provisional. I was on vacation, but I've been here for the rest of them. Good big shout out to Brian running this. It's a fun bunch of guys. I think it will take off. I think it's on Sundays want to do after watching racing all day.
See, the problem I have is I'm not here every Sunday because I race for real, so and I can't get home in time. But didn't know how many of them you'd run.
Yeah, this is the fourth race, I believe, and I took the provisional, which nobody likes to do. Even though I was on vacation, I was still itching to be racing.
You didn't bring the steering wheel with you.
I thought about it. I think the wife would have disagreed with that.
Oh gosh, I've known so many people that have done that.
You guys do a great job up there. This televised is new to me. We didn't have that back in the day.
Well, you said you had a 13-year hiatus. Were you just doing life stuff, or you just weren't into it for 13 years? And that's kind of what happened to me. Like, I got out of it for a while. I bought the thing brand new when it came out, and then played it for a bunch of years, and then got away from it for probably about 4 or 5 or 6 years. And then saw the broadcast stuff going on YouTube. I'm like, wait, people are still playing my favorite game of all time. I always end up coming back to it. And then now I've been back in it like full time for.
Yeah, I have a greater appreciation for it now. I was the same as you. I had it before the 2003 one came out. I was an admin over at Open Speedway for years. It takes a lot of work to do these races. That's why I appreciate everything everybody does to keep people in line, keep people in check. But like you said, life took over. I had a son that was a gamer that took over my gaming computer. And days go by, years go by, and Greg Palmer was asking me to come back for a long time. Finally just put it all back together, and I'm glad I did. Still racing with an old TSW wheel from 2010.
Yep, that's it, man. As long as it's a wheel, you can make it work.
Yeah, I tried other things, and this one seems to be the one that's always worked.
So you're running on TSW, you said?
Yes, sir.
See, I'm running on a TSW Easy 11. I've probably had it for over 20 years.
Yeah, I got this I'm 57 now. For my 35th birthday, so 22 years.
Wow. I've kind of parked mine for a little bit. Not that I enjoy racing. I had a league that I didn't like the way they did things, which kind of, soured me a little bit. But then real life racing kind of took over, and I just was, I'm not going to do it right now. I'm sure as soon as my real racing stops, I'll be right here racing, probably 2 or 3 nights a week.
Well, you get your fill, Rod. You get to do the real thing.
Yeah.
All of us want to do that. Being older now, like I said, the greater appreciation, meeting friends, and it's our own little niche out here. People don't understand when I explain to what we do.
If you want to laugh, I'll give you a good laugh. I'm 58 years old, racing and getting beat by a 16-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And whooping up on a 15-year-old, 2 15-year-olds, and a 48-year-old.
They have no fear, and they have no conscience to respect, and that's the big thing. Greg Palmer said it once. I finally got up front. I wouldn't even run the low line about 2-3 months ago. Finally did it. He goes, "Welcome to the big boy table." And it felt good, and just getting my feet back under me. And it's a bunch of good guys, the PRL guys, Ram running the league on Fridays and Saturdays is great. Really, my teammates from BSR and all the Rolling Thunder guys. It's a good bunch of people out here.
I said earlier, I raced with you over to Rolling Thunder and in a few other different places. I just kind of taking a break. I'll be back at it this fall. So, congratulations. You pretty much thank people, but is there anybody else you want to thank before we let you go?
Wife for having the patience to let me do this. I think she's now that we're older than when the kids were screaming at me.
That's probably the smart one right there.
Absolutely. But Rod, Blaine, I really do appreciate what you guys do.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's thanks for coming up here and talking with us, Dennis. It's sorry, Dennis. It's cool that you see the names around, and then we get to talk to different people, and we've never had the chance to talk to you before, but here you are winning the race, so we had no choice.
It's funny. I used to go as DMC, and I pick up on a couple of Speedway back in the day. They don't even recognize my real name.
Yep.
Which is funny. Some of my best friends in the world were from Open Speedway, and I'm starting to develop these relationships with these guys now. And hey, we got some fast guys out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, good spot to learn from. Like, some of these guys are crazy. Like, I come out here, same thing. I know how to play the game, but all the settings that you never really paid attention to, like, they can take you through those menus and get that wheel working perfect, and it's like, oh wow, that really makes it easier to drive, and never
so
afraid
easy
to ask a question, because there's always somebody who's got an answer.
But not so easy on a TSW.
Oh, no.
A lot less.
Absolutely.
You are talking analog all the way.
No
there
force.
are no force feeds. There's nothing that you can do that you can get this little feel on the pedal a little better. The only thing you can do is change a spring. I mean, mine's an easy 11, so mine's all done by hand controls. But still, there is basic as a wheel, but an awesome wheel, mind you. But so much of a basic wheel. But they're, like I said, they were the thing to have back in the day, and they're still pretty good.
They actually don't even sell them anymore. They just went to shifters now, Rod.
Oh, no doubt.
Just ordered a 13-inch wheel that won't fit on here.
It's a wheel base. You can swap rims out for it.
Oh, quite shit. You could take
cool.
You could take a real car steering wheel and put it on his.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Like I said, Rod, back in the day, this was the top of the line, and these guys with the force feedback and the Logitech wheels.
Fanatec, the Mosleys, all that stuff are just crazy now.
Yeah, I would put this up against any. Fine on regular 1.5-mile cookie cutter tracks, it's a little bit more difficult. But on super speedways, there's nothing better.
Oh yeah. And the thing about it is, if you watch some of the old stuff with Dale Earnhardt Jr., they all ran on TSWs. Back in the day, that's what everybody ran.
The race with Dale back in the day, Denny.
I did. Race with Dale, Truex, and Denny Hamlin. Yep. All right, well, we're gonna get you out of here. We can get this time finalized up. But congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks to everybody over here. Brian, thank you again for running this and All-Star Racing. Appreciate it, boys.
Thanks again, man. Yeah. We'll see you next week.
That.
And I'll be there.
Dennis McCarthy, your winner this evening. Yeah, it's nice to talk to him. We got to start. We sort of just do the thing ourselves, but under caution. We can grab people and talk to them, and we just sort of don't sometimes. I mean, we did today with Rodney because he actually got crashed out of the race, or the transmission problem. So
we'll work on that.
Him, but yeah, some days we're just doing what we do, and we just forget, But
yeah, well, it's my job to do that and keep track of that. And then, unfortunately, I haven't been here as much, like I said, because we talked about My Real Racing, and we go over to Maverick, and it's a little harder to do at Maverick because some of the guys aren't really in the team speak. So we'll get back to doing it here for sure.
Well, and I have a crank it up button, and I never even used it tonight again. So it's we just, some days we use our stuff, and some days we just do different stuff. But
I'll have to put a note up that says crank it up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was a great race. That was a fantastic race. What did we end up with? 4 caution flags for 12 total laps. Then most of it came in the first 15 laps we had those, and then the rest of it was green.
And the last one came, with less than a lap to go, really, and that didn't change the outcome. They just raced it out.
Yeah. We didn't even go back and watch that replay of why that yellow came out, because it was irrelevant, because they're racing back the checkered flag anyhow. But yeah, another great race, and
I will be here next Sunday, so that's awesome. You won't have to do it alone again.
Yeah, that's the thing. Let's check it out there. There's the upcoming broadcasts on Tarnation TV. Maverick returns on the 5th of August, but next Sunday we'll be here at 7:30 when the broadcast goes live. Green flag, usually between 8 and 8:10. And then the week after that, August 3rd, same deal. The ASR Superspeedway Series. Brian Wolf and his buddies over there running this thing. And having Tarnation TV call it is always a fun way to spend a Sunday evening. But as always, thanks to everybody who does the YouTube thing and interacts with us in the chat and watches the broadcasts. Of course, thanks to all the drivers and everybody at ASR for hosting this event. David Chen, Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales for sponsoring it. Thanks to Rod Weston for the assist in the co-host chair.
Absolutely.
And you got anything left to do before we leave?
Looking forward to a great race next Sunday.
Yeah, it'll be a good one. Tonight it was Rodney Sellens with the most laps led, and 17 by McCarthy, 17 by Waugh, and then what do we have? 9 different drivers and 11 lead changes. That's pretty good. And 20 people. Brian said too we were going to have like a thin field, but we've been averaging 20 to 25, so it's right on the mark.
Yeah, and anybody out there that wants to get into some super speedway racing with a great group of guys, come on over. I'm sure that Blaine's probably got the stuff in there and information that you can find your way to get to this and come race some super speedway racing.
Yep, everything in the descriptable below will lead you to everything you need, really. ASR's website. You can get a hold of Brian Wolf on Facebook. They don't have a Facebook page for the series yet, but Brian Wolf is there, or you can just reach out to us. Same deal. We'll get you in touch with all these people. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of it. Thanks for keeping this old sim alive since late 2002. And if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your stick on the ice.
Went to hell and back with you.